So, why would it matter that organizations like Black Lives Matter are pushing black people to fight with police officers and break stuff and burn stuff and commit illegal activities, violent activities? Why would it matter that feminist groups are talking to women about how men aren't important or how black men aren't important? Why does it matter that in places like America, abortion clinics are within walking distance of black communities and Latino communities, but even in white majority communities, they're putting up posters, billboards, I should say, of people getting abortions, saying abortion is self care, but they only put up pictures of black women. Why are all these false prophets, all these relationship coaches talking about how you shouldn't date black men unless they're really rich and successful and not blue collar? Why does all of this matter? How is this all connected? Why are the people running Planned Parenthood and the people running Black Lives Matter best friends? Why? Because all these people in one way or another are getting paid, are getting financially compensated to perpetuate the pain and the struggle that many people face, including black people, especially black people, not being able to find a good partner to be in a serious relationship with, not being able to, become financially free, getting a bank loan, all this different stuff. It's all culminating together, trying to strengthen the black family unit, the black nuclear family unit. It's very hard these days. They're all trying to fight for black lives, but it's especially the lives of black people that aren't going to be having their own kids because they live lifestyles where they're not going to have their own genetic offspring. Why is it? It's because in their own way, they're getting compensated for deliberately or inadvertently or unwittingly pushing for the extinction of the black community. If black women don't go for black men, if they rather go for white guys or if they rather go for other women because men ain't SHIT or black men ain't SHIT, then they're not going to procreate with other black men. They're not going to have black kids. They're telling black people, oh, abortion is self-care. And they only put black women in the adverts so that more black women can have more abortions. We already know that in America, black abortions are 5 times as much as white abortions. As in black babies or unborn black babies are killed before birth. That happens 5 times as much as when it happens with white people. We already know that there's this feminist dogma about how all men are the enemy. And if they're talking to black women will normally go for black guys. Sometimes people are a little bit more direct. You've got women on talk shows, feminist talk shows, talking about how white men are the main dish, black men are the side dish. And that gets put on TV and no one says anything except to maybe Aberrant preach. Black men are constantly being seen as entertainment or as a cash cow or as a fetish by people that aren't black. But the other two, black women would see us as a cash cow or entertainment. It's like a black man isn't seen as worthy even by people within the community unless they're extremely successful, extremely good looking, extremely rich. And even when they are extremely rich and extremely successful and, apparently good looking in the eyes of the masses, they get cheated on. Their wives go and do entanglements. They get divorced. Their wives leave them, take half their money, ask the courts to take $2 million a month from them. It happens. If it can happen to people like Dr. Dre and Will Smith and Kanye, God knows it's happening to some of you, no matter whether you're black or white or whatever. And these are supposed to be top 1% men of America in terms of money and success in any field. And it's happening to them. And what's the media perpetuating? They're perpetuating that these men, that it's somehow their fault and that these wives, these ex-wives seem to be, they're empowering because they've decided to leave the husband. You've got Will Smith, they're saying that he made the right decision in, staying with Jada, even though she decided to sleep with somebody who is, I don't really care that he's half her age. I'm no prude. I don't care that she did it, but she did it with her son's friend. Imagine if Will Smith slept with Willow's friend. Best believe he'd be getting cancelled right now. August Alsina talked about how he had mental issues, how he had family issues. It's a vulnerable stuff. And then she goes sleeping with him, knowing this stuff. And Will Smith was made to look bad. You have these red pill prophets calling him a simp, calling him a beta because he's stuck with his wife. Now, I don't think that's fair, But the media are perpetuating that people like Will Smith, that if they take back their wives after they cheat, that they're good men. But flip the switch, if the man is cheating and the woman leaves, it's empowering. But if she stays, she's pathetic. Just like with the Derek Jackson situation, his wife, she was only in that one video. If you watch that man's videos, his wife is never in any of the videos. Only time she ever been in a video was when he was doing the apology video, and he wouldn't let her leave. He had to grab her hand like she was a blimmin' hostage, as if to force her to stay in the seat while he was talking about Derek Jackson made mistakes, Derek Jackson made mistakes, referring to himself in third person as if he, the person he is now, would never do it. But dude, it's still you. Obviously, it's all about becoming a better person. You're not the person you were yesterday, but you did the stuff in the past. But that's the flip side. That's the irony. If a woman leaves the man after he cheats, it's empowering. If the man leaves after she cheats, oh, he's a quitter. If the man stays after she cheats, oh, he's a hero. If she stays after he cheats, she's pathetic. That's what I'm trying to say. But these celebrities, all these celebrities with their so-called toxic relationships, with their relationships that, with the infidelity and lies, and one lady talking about, I'm not going to name names, but you all know who she is. One female rapper talking about how if her boyfriend asked for a threesome, but if he did everything right in the relationship, he'll be allowed to pick the guy to join him in bed. No. All this nonsense with the Kardashians, all this nonsense with black men getting into marriages, whether it's to black women or to women outside the black community, and it all goes to SHIT, it all goes to hell. And then they perpetuate that. And then young people, especially in the community, see that and think, oh, that's normal. And then they replicate it. All these male and female rappers portraying negative stereotypes of our people, especially when it comes to sex and relationships and dating. People watch that and think that's normal. So it continues. The media doesn't help. In fact, the media deliberately perpetuates negative stereotypes of black people, including when it comes to relationships and sex and dating. You've got all these liberal groups, these feminist groups, these civil rights groups, all talking about how in order to get what we want as black people, we have to be aggressive, break stuff, burn stuff, fight with the police, which will make us look like bigger threats to the police, which will lead to more police brutality incidents, more murders, more deaths, more killings, which will lead to more protests, which will lead to more funding to the likes of these same civil rights groups that talk about how all black people are victims, including Black Lives Matter. They made 90 million last year. Think of yourself. If you're a black person watching this and you believe in the Black Lives Matter movement, how much of that money is going to you? If you know somebody that has been targeted by the police, killed by the police, how much money is that? How much money is going to you? None. I bet none. Only 22 million went to local Black Lives Matter chapters in the United States. The rest went to marketing, this, that, or the back end, the front end, so that they can continue running their company. And some of it went to other places. I don't really care. I don't know. I don't care. But my point is, I say don't listen to false prophets. Doesn't matter if you're black or not. Doesn't matter if you're white, Asian, Hispanic, mixed, biracial, multiracial, Asian, whatever you are. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't listen to false prophets because they don't care about you. They care about making money off your pain, off your struggle. And black people, just like any other type of person, got pain and struggle. Some of it's inherited. Some of it just comes with the flow. And they're telling you, black people that find it hard to get into relationships, black people that find it hard to become financially independent, black people that find it hard to deal with their childhood trauma, they're telling you all this stuff that isn't real. And they take advantage of that. And they take advantage of black people's insecurities and their fears, like of watching a relative or themselves or their friend get shot down because of what they look like, because they fit the description of a criminal that did something, even though it wasn't them. Wrong identity or a lie. Because, when they say, oh, you fit the description, that's a lie, right? They're not actually looking for somebody. They saw you, a black person, and they got suspicious because they think we're all criminals. Maybe not all the police officers think that, but that is what some of them believe. I don't think there's a single person in the UK or the US who's black that hasn't been stopped at least once by officers. Unless they were coppers themselves, but who knows? Who knows? I say I wouldn't follow the abortion clinics that make money off killing babies when they be out here telling black women that abortion is self-care. They want to make money because they believe that black people, and in a lot of cases, black people are not making that much money. Not all black people, but some. If they go and target black people living in socioeconomically undeveloped boroughs or areas or towns, of course, people living in poor towns are not making a lot of money, including black people. So they go target black people in them areas and say, look, abortion is self-care. You can't afford a baby, have an abortion. How could that happen if a single mom is having a baby and the man's not there? Oh, the man left. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he was told to go to a protest, a BLM protest, to go fight police, and he got killed by a police officer. Or he's in prison for 20 years because of what he did at a protest. And he's not there to look after the baby, so the woman can't afford the baby, so she has to get an abortion. But while she's stuck at home by herself with the unborn baby, she's watching the TV, she's reading the news online, and she's being told by the feminist media, by the liberal media, by the left-wing media, oh, black men ain't SHIT, men ain't SHIT, you don't need them, they're not there for you. And the woman at home is thinking, oh, he's not there for me, so she'll get rid of the baby, and she'll think, oh, I'll leave the boyfriend or the husband as well because he's not there for me. But he's in jail because he was told to go to the protest, the violent protest, and he was breaking stuff, burning stuff, because he was avenging other black people that were killed because they were wrongfully thought of as criminals. But then he's avenging them in the wrong way by doing criminal activities. And then more black people are being seen as criminals by more police, by more people of authority, white, black, or otherwise. It just perpetuates a cycle. So if they can't afford to have black babies, they'll be killing black babies, but they can't afford to have black babies because black family unit has been destroyed because the media keep telling us that it's okay to violently act in a certain way that's criminal, burning stuff, breaking stuff, and go against the police because all police are evil, which is not true. Or the young generation that are being pushed these lies, these stories about rich, successful, relatively rich, more successful black people, maybe they're rappers, maybe they're other type of celebrities, maybe they're in finance, maybe they're actors, whatever. And they break up with their boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, partners, fiancés, and it's quote unquote toxic, and there's fights and there's infidelity. And then they look within their own relationship and go, well, if that person can get rid of their boyfriend, I can get rid of mine, because they're emulating what celebrities do, because they think that these celebrities are successful because of the decisions. They don't understand that celebrities, even though they're so successful, they can still make mistakes like the rest of us. So they'll emulate their favorite celebrities. If Cardi B wants to leave Offset, then a lot of women are going to want to leave their husbands because they think, oh, if she can do better, then I can do better. Because remember, Offset is supposed to be a 1%er or a top 10% guy in society because of the money that he makes and the clout, the fame that he has. So people will look at that and go, oh, do you know, if Dr. Dre's getting divorced, if Will Smith, his wife had an entanglement, if Tracy Morgan's getting a divorce, if Kanye's getting a divorce, if all these other black men who are rappers or actors or whatever, or musicians, their girlfriends are leaving them, I can do the same thing with my male partner. And then that relationship ends, and then there's a baby in the middle, and then that split, because women, including black women, especially black women, are constantly being told men are not SHIT, including black men. That's why you go outside, you talk to people, white people will be like, hey, what's up? Black women will be like, nah, I don't trust him because you also black. And you think it's because, oh, maybe, she just doesn't like you. No, it's because the media keep telling women that men are not trustworthy, including black men, especially black men. Or that even if we are, we're just there for entertainment, or as a cash cow, or to be fetishized, as the side piece or the side NIGGA. Like Janine Mai said, whoever the hell she is. That's the conspiracy here. They don't need to segregate black people anymore. They don't need to deliberately go out of their way to use a ploy to invoke systemic racism onto black people. Like there was this inquiry, there was this, whatever it was, there was this decision that happened recently in the UK. All these politicians, all these officials, they come up, a bunch of people that don't believe that systemic racism exists. They don't believe that it exists. Most of them, if not all of them, were probably white. I didn't check, who cares? They go out and they go and say that the result is that there's no systemic racism in Britain. How would you know? Have you ever walked down one end of your street to the other end? Or you're having a discussion with a friend of yours and then the police officer stop the car and say, hey, what's your name? What you doing? You match the description. No. If you're rich or bougie or Caucasian, it's less likely to happen to you. I ain't saying it never happens to you. I can't possibly know that. But it's less likely. I know that. That's why black people, if you have any black friends, if you have any black colleagues, hell, not just black people, just immigrants, if they weren't born here, or even black people that were born here being UK, or if you're in America or somewhere else where you're black but you're born in a white majority country, but people don't look at you instinctively and think that you're from the same country because of what you look like. And when you see these black people that you know and you ask them, because some of them will be talking about this, why they're always talking about money, why they're always talking about becoming financially free, it's because black people, black women for different reasons, but I'm not going to talk about that because I'm not a black woman, so I wouldn't know the full struggle there. But as a black man, I can tell you, and as a man, I can tell you, black men love to talk about money and getting the bag, securing the bag, because we've been taught from a very, very young age that unless we have lots of money, unless we're in peak physical condition, with a brain too, we're living in a society where intelligence is actually seen as a good thing. You've seen like the Elon Musks and the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Warren Buffetts. People are taking brain seriously. But yeah, really, if you're rich, successful, handsome, and peak physical condition, you can get anything you want, any woman you want, any job you want, any business you want that you can build from scratch. But if you're not those things, you can't get anything. We've seen that from personal experience, and we've had friends, family members tell us that as well. It's just how life is. But don't believe false prophets that tell you how to get women, how to get men. Don't believe in false prophets that try and tell you, oh, I've made 6 to 8 figures in drop shipping, but they only made that money teaching people how to drop ship and selling courses on how to drop ship, but not making that money in actual drop shipping. Or they'll tell you, I've made 6 to 8 figures in high ticket closing, e-commerce, real estate, cryptocurrencies, but they haven't made the money in that niche. They've made the money selling people and how to get into that niche. Don't listen to them. It's all a lie. All these fake gurus with their Lambos and their bookshops and their libraries and collections. It's a lie. You need to believe in yourself and you need to follow your mission, whatever that is, your purpose, whatever that is, so that you can become financially independent. And you don't necessarily need many people to be in your life to make you happy. If you want to get married, great. If you don't, great. If you want to have kids, great. If you don't, great. Be yourself, be happy, follow your moral compass and follow your own dreams for what you want your life to be. But I promise you, whether you're black or otherwise, if you keep believing that men aren't SHIT, or that black men aren't SHIT, or women aren't SHIT, or that black women aren't SHIT, if you keep believing that abortion is the best way to, deal with an unwanted pregnancy, it's not. There's a bunch of different ways. There's giving it up for adoption. You could have a family member raise the child up into a certain age, and then you can take care of the child when you're financially ready or mentally ready. Sometimes people get unwanted pregnancies when they're really young. Like, don't get rid of the child. Just maybe there's a relative of yours that really needs a child, and you give the child to them. Say, look, okay, this is your auntie and uncle that'll be looking after you. Do that. Abortion is not the only blooming way. But all these liberal groups and feminist groups, they want to make women and especially men believe that abortion is like the best way forward if you don't want a child. It's not. It should be the last option. Then again, as a bloke, I've never had a kid. I don't have the right to go up and physically stop somebody from having an abortion. I don't have that right. However, you do realize that if you, a man, watching this right now, if you get somebody pregnant, your girlfriend, a random girl, doesn't matter. If you get a girl pregnant right now, legally, she can have the abortion. She'll never even tell you that you have a child. She'll never even tell you that she's pregnant. She can still have the abortion. Now, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the law states. If I'm wrong, please write in the comments. But last time I checked, especially from what I've seen, not in real life, but people watch TV, people read newspaper articles, she could go out there, have the abortion, and you would have never known that you got a girl pregnant and that you could be a future father. She will never tell you. Some men, it's worse. She could have the baby. Well, not worse, but I guess just as bad. It depends on your moral compass. Some men could get a woman pregnant, but then she'll say that it's another man's baby. She won't tell you. She'll tell him it's the baby. She'll tell another man that your baby is his. And then that child will grow up thinking that a random stranger is the father. And you'll never know. You'll never know. And this will be seen in sitcoms. This will be seen in dramas with black people in it. Reality TV shows with black people in it. And then young black people will watch that thinking that it's normal with baby mamas and baby papas and drama and infidelity and all this stuff. Raising another man's seed and all this stuff, that it's normal, that it's okay, that it's not messed up at all. It is messed up. You'll have TV and the media and these fake prophets lying to you about how to live your life, all so that they can destroy the nuclear family unit, black nuclear family unit included. They'll tell that women that it's okay to have 100 abortions, and they'll tell men that it's okay to, it's okay for a woman to get pregnant by you, but not tell you that it's your child and then get rid of the baby without your consent. And even if you decide to have the child with the woman, if she decides to leave you, she'll go to the court and say, oh, I'm not happy, I want to leave him, and I want to take my child with me. And 9 times out of 10, maybe 95 times out of 10, out of 100, she'll have full custody of that child, and your ass will beg the court for weekend visitation rights to see your own child. And this happens with black people especially. I tell you, don't listen to fake prophets, because if you do, that could be you. Is that what you want? No possible way of creating a strong family unit as a black person, as any person, because this happens to white people and other people as well. You want to live in a world where it's almost impossible to find the right woman, or if you're to find the right person, I should say, and to start a family, because everybody's always got their own agendas, because the media and all these false prophets have been telling people lies their whole lives about how to interact with other people. So you can't have a child, you can't get married, you can't be with anybody in a physical way without it somehow coming back to bite you in the butt. Is that what you want? I don't think so. Anyway, that's me, I'm finished. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Follow me on social media, follow this channel, the QLC Experience. See you soon.